So we have this new ministry at St. Martin's called Flower It Forward, and it's twofold. One is to help the Flower Guild with dismantling arrangements so that they don't have to do that, and make arrangements for their Sunday. And then the other and the main reason we do it is to share flowers and joy in our community with other people. And it's been a great success. On days that Brittany and I have done it, we've had a good time, don't you think?
We've had a great time. It's so much fun.
So why don't you share one of the experiences that you especially enjoyed on one of our Mondays?
So one of my favorite places that we've gone to is the UPS store. The first time we went, they had not opened yet, I don't think. And we walked. There wasn't anybody in there.
This is the UPS store on 7th Street.
On 7th. So we walk up and down 7th and just go to the businesses and the offices that are really close by, that are our neighbors. And the first time we went in and there was a man in there who we've now learned is the manager, but we didn't know that at the time. And he was a little confused, and then we explained what we were doing, and his face just lit up, and he was so excited. He was like, "I love flowers."
That was a fun one.
So he was just so excited, and I'm sure the UPS store has probably never had flowers in it.
And I remember he kind of laughed, not at us, but the whole situation. It just made him happy.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is when we went to the real estate company across the street, and we walked in, and there were lots of people working in cubicles, and a woman approached I think they still had their glass up from COVID or whatever, but anyway, she was very businesslike, and I'm sure very, very busy. But when we explained, I said, we're from St. Martin's across the street, and we just wanted you to have these flowers. She went from this very stern looking woman, and her face just melted, and she just had this huge smile on her face. And then we went to that real estate company another time, a few weeks later, and when we walked in the door, she just had this huge smile.
Yeah,
they all comment "Oh, I love flowers."
And now we've made these relationships because we've gone there more than once,
right.
So they know we're coming.
Exactly.
And when we went back to the UPS store this week, we didn't see our same friend, but there were a whole bunch of employees in there, and they said, "Oh, let me go get my manager and let him choose." And it was the same guy.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Well, I love purple," and so he took the flowers
Right.
that had purple in them.
And it was so sweet. And you could hear the younger employee back there saying, "There are these two really nice ladies out there with all these flowers." So which other ones?
Well, I just remembered one that we forgot about was the Queen Sugar.
Oh, I love that lady across the street.
And a lot of these businesses, you don't even know exist until you walk up and down.
Right. Hers is some sort of spa or salon.
Yeah.
What happened with her? I can't.
The first time, we didn't think she was there. And then it's just sort of this confused, what are you doing here?
Right.
But then she was the same thing like the real estate lady. She just lit up. And then the next time we came, she knew exactly who we were and what we were doing.
I just don't think people are accustomed to being given things just for no reason. Because I remember the lady next door, I don't even know what that building is next door to our parking lot. And I don't even know if she worked there. We just happened to see her in the parking lot. And we were like, "Would you like some flowers?" And remember, she was like, "Well, what's the occasion?" And we just said, "Well, we're from the church next door, and we just want you to have a good day, and we want you to have these flowers." And she was so thrilled. It was, and people's masks or their facade just kind of melts away. I don't know. It's just a really, I don't know. It's I love that experience.
Yeah. And it's interesting how people are suspicious at first, and then you're giving them this beautiful gift, and they just, their face completely changes, and they're willing to accept it. No one has said no. No one has been
Exactly.
"No, thank you. I don't want flowers."
The other thing that I love is like you and I usually leave the church with a plan. Like we're going to go to the UPS store or the law firm or the CPA office or whatever. But it like always gets sidetracked because we'll run into somebody, random person on the street, and they'll say, "Oh, pretty flowers," just commenting, and you get to say, "Would you like them?"
Yeah.
And everybody's just taken aback.
And that kind of happened when we walked past the daycare.
Oh my gosh, the daycare. Talk about the daycare.
So we've been wanting to give flowers to them, but it's hard to know, like, if you're allowed to go in with the kids and do we need to call ahead. But one day we were walking down to Promise Resource Network, and they happened to be on the playground. And so we just yelled, through the fence, "Would you guys like some flowers?" And one of the teachers came over, and we were able to just hand it to her over the fence.
And they were so thrilled. And we went there the other day, and one of the teachers who we had given flowers to before said, "We still have the flowers you gave us last time." And I think it's been like a month or so.
I don't know how those flowers are holding up.
But it was really cute. Like when we walked past one of the little girls, you could tell they'd been taught, you don't talk to strangers. And I heard one little girl say to another, "They're strangers, don't talk to them." And the other child responded, "They're not strangers, they're just walking up and down the street with flowers." Like, aw.
Totally normal.
Tell them about the, what's it called? The Promise Resource Network. That was another good one.
Yeah, so we're now buddies with Kim. And Nancy had told us about Promise Resource Network and that they provide support and like a place to hang out during the day for unhoused people. Like some of the people that live on our grounds can go there during the day. So we walked up there, and we know so much about Kim now. She's shared so much about like her own gardening experience and how she loves flowers. Right. And I think
she was from New York, and she can't seem to grow flowers as well down here as up there. But and then we walked out. She's always so glad to see us.
And the flowers are always still out from the time before.
And like this time, she saved us the jar, which we don't typically want back. But we're like, well, we're bringing you more flowers in a few weeks. So, and then we walked out of there one time, and there were two people sitting outside, and one of them, just kind of commented, "Oh, those are so pretty." And we said, "Do you want them?" And she was like, "Really?" And she just proceeded to talk about, she's going to teach her child how to take care of them, and wanted her child to learn about living things. And she's like, "And how do you take care of them?" And we were trying to explain, just change the water and clip the stems. But that one's, I love going to that place. Yeah. So we're like establishing these relationships, and we have ideas about how we can further those relationships beyond flowers with what they do and what we do.
And Josh has said, I love it when he says this, we're extending the table, like the altar table, throughout the community. Anytime you take these flowers anywhere, people have taken them to schools and given them to teachers, taken them to some people over at Aldersgate that come to church but don't get to come as often. Right. And, Vicki was able to take him to people at Dahlia Grove this week, and so we're extending the altar table of St. Martin's out through Charlotte.
And spreading the light. It's just a very special ministry, and we'd love for more people to be a part of it. Just contact me at Lillian at stmclt.org, or come talk to me after church.
Definitely.
I know.
Thank you.
We highly recommend it.
Brings you lots of joy.
It does.